Joining Paul and me and our families and our friends tonight. You're sending a message tonight to the entire nation. Thank you. And by the way, thanks to Kid Rock and the other entertainers who've come for us tonight, and thanks to the extraordinary team of national leaders who have gathered here. Look at this team here. Now, you probably heard they've gathered here tonight because they're about to fan out across the entire nation to make sure that we have victory on November 6th. And some comic in the team has named us the Romney-Ryan Real Recovery Road Rally. I got it out. That's R6 for short, and you're going to see them going across the country. They're going to make sure that we win. Ohio is a center place. We're going to make sure this is the place we take, and we're going to take back the White House. And Lieutenant Governor Taylor and with Senator Portman and to be able to be in John Boehner's hometown. Your state is the one I'm counting on, by the way. This is the one we have to win. Now, I want to take just a moment to remind all of us that there are many, many of our fellow Americans who are suffering from the devastation caused by Hurricane Sandy. And our thoughts and prayers go out to them. And if you're able to help, please donate to the Salvation Army or the American Red Cross. We're a generous people.
Get out of the way.
Don't forget them. Thank you.
There we go.
And let me tell you, it's great to be here with the next Vice President of the United States, Paul Ryan, and his wife, Karen.
Got it. Cameron, get out of the way.
Next to Ann Romney, Paul Ryan is the best choice I've made. You know that? Now, tonight we enter the final weekend of the campaign. At Obama rallies, they're saying 4 more years. We have a different cry, of course. What is it? 4 more days! Exactly right. Oh, thank you.
4 more days. 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 4 more.
We are so very grateful to you and to people across the country for all that you've given of yourselves to this campaign. And as you know, this is not just about Paul and me. It's about America and the future we're going to leave to our children. We thank you, and we ask you to stay at it all the way until victory on Tuesday night. Now, I have a question for you. Are you finally ready for real change? Yeah. As you know, 4 years ago, candidate Barack Obama promised to do so very much, but he's fallen so very short. He promised to be a post-partisan president, but he became the most partisan of our presidents, blaming, attacking, dividing. Then he was going to focus on creating jobs. Instead, he focused on Obamacare, which killed jobs. He said he was going to cut the federal deficit in half, but then he doubled it. He said that the unemployment rate would now be at 5.2%. Today we learned it's at 7.9%. And by the way, that's 9 million jobs short of what was promised. Unemployment is higher today than when he took office. He promised that he'd propose a plan to save Social Security and Medicare from insolvency. He didn't. And rather, he raided $716 billion from Medicare for his vaunted Obamacare plan. He said he'd lower health care premiums for the average family by $2,500 a year. Now they're higher by $3,000 a year. And gasoline, the American family pays $2,000 a year more for gasoline than when the president was elected. You know, he also said he'd work across the aisle on the most important issues. He has not met on the economy, or on the budget, or on jobs with either the Republican leader of the House or the Senate since July. So instead of bridging the divide, he's made it wider. Now, how is it that he's fallen so far short of what he promised? In part, it's because he'd never led before, never worked across the aisle, never truly understood how jobs are created in the real economy. And so today he makes new promises. Promises he'll be unable to keep because he admits he's going to stay on the same path. The same course we've been on will not lead to a better destination, Mr. President. The same path means $20 trillion in debt. It means crippling unemployment, stagnant take-home pay, depressed home values, and a devastated military. And unless we change, we may be looking at another recession. The question of this election comes down to this. Do you want more of the same, or do you want real change? Now, President Obama promised change, but he couldn't deliver it. I promised change, and I have a record of achieving it. I actually built a business, and I turned to run another business. I helped put an Olympics back on track. And with a Democrat legislature, I helped turn my state from deficit to surplus, from job losses to job growth, and from higher taxes to higher take-home pay. That's why I'm running for president. I know how to change the course the nation is on. I know how to get us to a balanced budget. I know how to build jobs and rising take-home pay. And by the way, accomplishing real change is not something I just talk about. It's something I've done. It's what I'm going to do when I'm president of the United States, with your help. If you believe we can do better, if you believe Americans should be on a better course, if you're tired of being tired, then I ask you to vote for real change, and Paul Ryan will bring real change to America from day one. Now, I know that when we're elected, the economy and American jobs will still be stagnant, but I'm not going to waste any time complaining about my predecessor. I won't spend my effort trying to pass partisan legislation unrelated to economic growth. From day one, I'm going to go to work to help Americans get back to work. People across the country are responding to our 5-part plan to create jobs, and you've heard about it before. Part 1 is taking full advantage of our energy resources. On day one, I'm going to act to increase the number of leases and permits to drill on federal lands. I'm going to act to speed approval of the Keystone Pipeline from Canada. And I'm going to revisit coal regulations that were designed by the administration to strangle the industry. So on day one, we'll be closer to energy independence. Now, second, I'm going to move to boost trade, especially in Latin America. And I'm going to ask Congress for trade promotion authority. That's a power every president has used or requested since it was first created in 1974, with the exception of President Obama. And I will finally designate China as a currency manipulator. It's time for trade. Third, I'm going to send Congress the Retraining Reform Act to make sure that every worker who feels left behind in this economy can get the skills and the chance for a good-paying job. We deserve it. Fourth, I'm going to move to tackle out-of-control spending. I'm going to send Congress the first of several fundamental reforms. The first will be called the Down Payment on Fiscal Sanity Act. To really cut, not just slow the rate of growth, but actually cut non-security discretionary spending by 5%. And by the way, I'm not just going to take office on January 20th. I'm going to take responsibility for that office as well. Yeah. And number 5, I'm going to act to boost small business and all business. I'm going to issue executive orders aimed straight at the problems that are holding this economy back. The first will grant state waivers from Obamacare to every state so we can begin its repeal. The launch of a sweeping review of all Obama-era regulations will follow, with an eye to eliminating or repairing any regulation that kills jobs or hurts small business. And by the way, every entrepreneur, every small business person, every job creator will know that for the first time in 4 years, the government of the United States likes them and loves the jobs and higher wages they bring to our fellow